On the outskirts of San Salvador one night, the National Civil Police Elite Anti-Gang Division readies an operation to arrest suspected members of Mara Salvatrucha, a transnational criminal group notorious for its brutality. With darkness masking their uniforms and vehicles, the officers fan out in different neighborhoods, calculating each movement so they can surprise and detain as many suspects as possible.
Hemos realizado operaciones.
We have carried out operations in which we have dismantled structures of the MS, and not only of the MS, also of the 18th Street Gang, but mainly of MS, which have been operating in El Salvador and the United States.
En El Salvador y en Estados Unidos.
El Salvador's President Salvador Sánchez Serén promotes the strong peace policy to combat gangs. His administration created the specialized police division that goes after gangs. They also get help from the Salvadoran army, with more operations, increased arrest, prosecutions, and sentencing of criminals. Guillermo Gallegos, president of the country's Legislative Assembly, supports that approach. He would like to see even tougher methods to deter gangs.
The
death penalty would be an exemplary measure for any gang member because they are also cowards. They are afraid of death, and I think this would be very good to the country.
But some people question what they see as an emphasis on security without sufficient social support. One critic is Navib Bukele, San Salvador's mayor and a current candidate in the country's 2019 presidential race.
The problem is that gangs are not the cause, they are the consequence of something.
Something which demands a comprehensive and urgent social project because, according to Bukele, the MS-13 is getting stronger and more violent in El Salvador.
Now they control almost the entire national territory. There are zones where practically 100% of businesses are extorted. There are more rapes. Gang members are immersed in trafficking drugs and weapons. They have more firepower than they had before.
The major favors sustained commitments to social programs to better educate and support the country's youth. Carlos Fernandez directs one, a development program stretching from early childhood education through job training.
Really, the true sustainability is a changed person, a person who looks forward on their future and development with optimism. And that is only achieved through deep educational processes, I would say. They're expensive. Why? It does require a very large type of staff and hours of accompaniment.
He says competence lends confidence that can make a youth less vulnerable to being recruited by a gang. El Salvador government continues to look at ways to reduce gun violence, even though the national police has announced a decrease on the number of murders, 1,300 less during 2017 than the previous year. The challenges presented by the menace of La Mara Salvatrucha continues to defy this Central American country. Cristina Caicedo Smith, VOA News.